What's the next one? Connect. Let's talk about that. What would be the side effect if you are not connected within yourself as a presenter, with your material, with your love for it, with everything that you bring? What happens when as a presenter you are disconnected?
You can't be with the audience.
And when you're not with the audience, what are you instead? Hey? Screwed, you are typically, yes. When you disconnect from the audience now, this might happen. You might disconnect temporarily. And that's why we go through the skills so you can pick it up again, even with clients. You'll know this. You'll build rapport with a client. You say something out of turn. It breaks rapport, but you have the skills. You rebuild it. You can rebuild it. I'll say something or do something off the cuff, and it wouldn't land with you, and I'll know that broke rapport, so I'll just rebuild it again. It doesn't mean you have to have a 24/7 online connection all the time. But in terms of being disconnected from your audience, then you've lost them. And then if you're like me, what happens is now my brain starts kicking in, and now I'm speaking faster and trying harder and doing everything that I teach you not to do. And then the more I push, the more people disconnect or push back. And then people start getting awkward and difficult. And the next thing you know, it's like, that was the worst presentation I've ever done. And then you wonder, well, oh, that's why. Wasn't connected with the here and the self. So taking the time, do whatever you need to do before you present to get as connected as you can. That's the best you can do. That's why the room doors were not open when you arrived. Because I needed that time to sit here and be here in this room and start claiming the space for myself and start getting connected with, why am I actually even here? Who am I? What am I here for? What are my gifts? What are my shortcomings? You know, whatever your process is. So that by the time I arrived, I was connected enough with myself and my material and what I'm here for, my higher purpose. I don't mean higher purpose necessarily in a lofty way. My biggest reason for being here is to inspire you to be more of who you are. Then connected with the crew, the environment, and then I was ready to connect with you in whatever you might have been bringing in here. So connecting with the self, if you don't, the shortest way of saying is you lose the audience. And isn't it true that when you're not feeling connected with yourself, your confidence goes down? And then you try and overcompensate by probably not being real and authentic, which disconnects people even more, pushes them away, and all the other flip charts. You see all this stuff just kind of links in. Connect with yourself and then connect with the audience. And you'll notice that one of the ways that I connect with you is to look at you directly with eye contact. And every now and again, oh, I haven't looked at Jane for a while, so I'll maybe spend 2 or 3 seconds more with Jane. Is to also, and this is not something, this is what I would regard as unconscious competence. I don't actually think, oh, I haven't quoted Jane in a while. I should think of something Jane said and then say it to the group so Jane can feel good about herself. But have you noticed how often in the conversation, oh, well, that's what Jane said. That's what she said. That's what he said. That's what Monique and I had this conversation about, is to start bringing your audience into the conversation spontaneously and naturally. Why? Because this is not a script running. This is me having a conversation, just like you would with your friends over tea. So that's another way of me connecting with you, is calling your name and reminding the rest of us about something that you said in some way, shape, or form.